It is that time again, the prediction time for the Detroit Lions season, where we go through every game and I give you my thoughts and share some opinions of who I think will win this game and why. And without further ado, man, let's get into it. The Lions are going to be home for their second home game in a row against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last season, the Lions started on the road, came back home. This season, I've noticed that a lot of the NFL teams are starting, a lot of them seem to be starting 2 games at home. But let's do like we always do and take a look at the stats from ESPN. Now, this is a surprise to me that the ESPN analytics has the Buccaneers with only a 34.7% chance to win this game, and the Lions are a 65%. The reason I say that is because the Bucs put up a pretty good fight, man. They got a very good run defense. They get toward the passer, and they're just not, 34%, that's kind of a lot. I think it would be closer to maybe 40, 45, but that's just my opinion. Baker Mayfield is 24 for 30 with, again, this is only one game, 289 yards with 4 touchdowns. Jared Goff, kind of a subpar day, man. Went 18 for 28, 217 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 INT. You've got the running back Irvin, 9 carries, 62 yards. David Montgomery doubled him up with 17 carries, 91 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jamison Williams, man, who would ever thought that we would see him as the leading wide receiver with 5 receptions, 121 yards, with 1 touchdown. And Chris Godwin, which is crazy to me because I would assume that Mike Evans would have more yards than him because he was making some plays on Sunday, but he had 8 receptions, 83 yards with 1 touchdown. If we go and we talked about this yesterday, the Buccaneers have a host of guys that are going to be out, notable names, and I don't even know why he's not on this list here, is Kalijah Cansey and Antoine Winfield Jr. He's going to be out. The Detroit Lions, Marcus Davenport is doubtful, Isaiah Williams and Ife Melifonwu is out. We know that Jamison Williams is questionable, which means that he's probably going to play. But now we saw that they brought up Tom Kennedy and Tim Patrick. So I still think J-Mo is going to play, but I'm a little bit concerned now with them bringing up those guys. If we look at the last 5 for these 2 teams, they're both 3-2 if you include the preseason. And look at this. 5 games ago, the Lions played the Buccaneers in that divisional round. But the Lions are coming off a 3-game win streak. Only one means something really, which is the last one against the LA Rams, where they won in overtime, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat up on the Washington team. And Baker had probably one of the best games of his career, if not the best game as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Remember, Baker Mayfield was on a 1-year deal and was able to get a quite hefty raise after that performance that he put on last year. Discarded, thrown away. Not only wins the division, goes into Philadelphia, beats up on them, and then gives us a fight where, I mean, really Baker's going down the field. Derek Barnes doesn't pick that pass off. Who knows? We could have been going into overtime during that game. So give me some thoughts, man. I watched John Gruden. For those of you who don't know, John Gruden has his own YouTube channel. I believe it's called John Gruden, but I found him about 2 weeks ago. He's already at probably by the time you see this video, he'll be at 100,000 subscribers. And now these guys are finding that YouTube is an outlet, especially when the mainstream media will blackball you for whatever reason. And he gave a great breakdown on both teams. And he said something that was very intriguing. He said, I'll point out one thing about the Bucs and one thing about the Lions. Start with the Lions. He said that he believes that we have the best offense in the National Football League, the way that we are balanced and we can switch it up and we can throw everything at you. He said that he believes that Jared Goff is a fantastic quarterback and the way that he can kill you is at the line of scrimmage. And I think that that is a very underestimated point about Jared Goff in his game. A lot of people like the big flashiness, the mobility. Jared Goff is not those things, but to me, he is very smart with the ball. He might not have the arm that you may like. You watch a guy like Josh Allen leaping over guys, right? Running around the pocket, creating a play, keeping the play alive. We've seen Kyler Murray will run 100 yards before he throws the ball. Jared Goff's not going to do all of that, but he also is very rarely going to make a poor decision with the football, right? So I was like, wow, I was very kind of taken aback that John Gruden thought the Detroit Lions offense was the number one offense, the best. He said the best offense in football. I was like, wow. And about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even with the litany of injuries, he said that Todd Bowles is going to, he expects them to go for it on fourth downs if they're in the midfield. 4th and 4, 4th and 5. They need to keep the Detroit Lions offense off the field. And even though that the Buccaneers are depleted when it comes to, they got a lot of injuries. You know, Whitfield Jr. is out. Kalijah Kancey got his first sack against the Detroit Lions last year. That he expects Todd to still come after us. Loves the blitz. And he thinks that if it's like a fourth down and for us, they're going to bring the house. Like, he's going to be like, okay, you guys have to do it in order, you know, like, you got to get to Jared. That's it. So that is pretty impressive. He also said that he thinks it's going to be tough for us to run on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess what? He was right. Last year, it was very difficult in Tampa to run against them. And then David Montgomery got hurt. We had Jahmyr Gibbs and we had Craig Reynolds. David got hurt that game. Remember, he had a nice little run, but I mean, they were stuffing that run with Vita Vea and those guys up front, man. So it was tough to run on. He expects it to be that way again. So as far as what I see, man, the Detroit Lions, we have to, it's going to be the matchup between Mike Evans and whoever's on him. Carlton Davis in the week leading up to the game, he was talking about how he knows the wide receivers and stuff like that. And from what they say, he gave a pretty impassioned speech to his secondary during practice. His insight is going to be great. But I wonder, I would expect, I don't know, I feel like Carlton, because of the savviness of Mike Evans, that Carlton's going to be on him and Terrion's going to go on Chris Godwin, who you can't sleep on either. You know what I'm saying? I believe every pass he caught in Sunday's game was a first down. So I think that we got to find a way to not be run on. Like, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can get the pass game going, we know that, like, Mike Evans ate. That the first game, he was coming off a hamstring. He really wasn't himself. That playoff game, he was cooking Cam Sutton. And then you couple that with the lack of a pass rush that we had last year, and he went off. We still won, and we won by 8, right? So now we have a better secondary, and we would hope that we have a better pass rush. And I guess to some extent we will, because we'll probably lose Davenport, but we'll gain DJ Reader. And that's going to be a big kind of key to getting to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is athletic. He's a tad elusive. And I watched the Washington highlights, man, and he was getting out of harm's way a ton of times, running for first downs and things like that. If DJ Reader can help clog up that middle, him, and then we can get to Baker on the outside, you know, then I think we got a real good chance to win this game. The thing is scheming for Todd Bowles blitzing, man. That's what we have to do. John Gruden also said that we're going to have to probably keep a blocking running back in the backfield because they're going to come at Jared a ton. So now you got a lot of quick passes. So this week we might become Matthew Stafford, getting rid of the ball super quick, right? So this is going to be great. I think the Detroit Lions are going to win this game. One of the things that I think is the home field advantage is going to help. Ford Field is going to be absolutely rocking. They're going to be going crazy tomorrow. I believe that the next Lions game is on the road. I'm not sure when they're back home, but I know we have the 9th game at home this year. So that's probably why they gave us 2 back-to-back. Last year, we only had 8. So I think the Lions are going to win this game. I think the crowd's going to be a big factor. I think that they get the better of them again. And if Jamison Williams plays, I think it's going to help stretch the, down the field. I think Sam Laporta is going to play a big role. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I think so. I'm going to say now our key players outside of the offensive line on offense is going to be Jared Goff, of course. I think both running backs, I'm going to pick Sam Laporta, and I'm going to say that because of the injury to Jamison Williams, and we don't know how bad it is, that Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get out of the funk or whatever he was in last week, and he's going to have a good game, maybe even over 100 yards. I think we might see a pretty big day from Sam Laporta as well. Maybe J-Mo takes a little bit of a backseat, but last year, man, he got a long touchdown pass against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. So I think the Lions win this game. The crowd is going to be a colossal help. They go to 2-0. Here's the crazy part. I was thinking yesterday, I was like, man, when was the last time that the Lions went 2-0? And I don't know. So I'm going to go back to, man, I really don't know when we started 2-0 because it had been so long since we won a home opener. And then we finally, did that, whether it was on the road. I'm sorry, not a home opener, a season opener. Then we did that last week, or last week and last month. But the two before that, San Francisco, Philadelphia, we lost. The ones under Matt Patricia. Remember the Jets game, his first year, we lost. So I'm going to say, I didn't do any research. The Lions last started 2-0. I don't know. So you know what? Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's see if Siri knows. Hey, Siri. Gotta make sure she's turned up. Hey, Siri.
Uh-huh.
When was the last time the Detroit Lions started 2-0?
Since the 1957 championship, the franchise has won only a single playoff game during the 1991 season and holds the league's longest postseason win drought.
Okay, she's way behind. So I'm going to say that maybe in 2016, somewhere around there. I was going to go back to that Jim Schwartz season where we started 5-0 and we went against the San Francisco 49ers and they were also 5-0. So I don't know. I'm going to just throw out and say 2016 could be a year, which would have been one of Jim Caldwell's years. So I'm going to say one of Jim Caldwell's years we started 2-0. I'm not sure. Put it in the comment section below and give me your predictions. You guys know I don't do score predictions. I'm going to say that the Lions get this W and they move to 2-0 and are securely in first place in the NFC North. I think even if the Bears, Vikings win, then I think by points or conference or division or whatever, however the situation goes, that we are securely in first place. But I will say this, I thought about yesterday, like I said, how the Lions lost their second game. They were 1-1, and then they wind up winning 3 in a row. They went, because then they played Tampa, so I think they didn't lose again until, no, they won 4 in a row. They won 4 in a row. They were 5-1 when they played the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens were 4-2 when we played them. So Lions lost the second game of the season and then wind up winning 4 in a row. The crazy part is when we played the Bucs, we were the start of the Bucs dropping 4 in a row, but then they wind up having a great end to the season and making it to the playoffs after winning the division. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. You guys are awesome. This channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. This will be the last video of the day unless something comes up. We will be live tomorrow for the pregame tailgate at 11 o'clock. We'll stay on until we get the injury report, which is about 11:30. That's how long the show lasts anyway. So that's going to happen. We will be live streaming the watch party. We'll get on at 12:30. And then at 4:15, we'll do the post-game show right here. I hope to have the phone lines open. It's kind of acting dumb, so I will definitely have them open by week 4 for sure. I know that's a long time, but I'll have them open by then. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. The Lions are on their way to 2-0.